Hi friends, welcome to another tutorial of HTML5 and the in this tutorial we talk about HTML text, some more elements of HTML text. Like in previous video I talked about HTML headings. What are the types of headings that we use? So apart from headings, in HTML document you will find paragraphs. Okay, because HTML is nothing but a simple document with lot of content. It's like image, links, tables and so on. So the text element such as paragraph is very common in HTML document. Okay, so whenever you want to write a paragraph, you have to use the p tag, and there is an opening p tag and a closing p tag, which is right here. So the p tag is enclosed, there is some text enclosed within this p tag, and you can use any number of p tags as long as your document look good, and you can use many paragraphs in your document. Okay, you have to make sure that you close the paragraph tag before moving on to the next paragraph, before you create another paragraph. This is a good practice. Next is some text inside the paragraph or outside the paragraph can be bolded. If you use the B tag, the bold tag, it will be appearing bold. The word will appear bold, and alternatively you can use strong. There is another one called strong. Okay, so the strong will also emphasize bold the text, and it is text called strong. This is a tag called strong, and whatever appears inside the strong will be bold, just like the B tag, it will be appearing bold. So I just for example I just placed this tag, and you can see there is a correction here, there is a mistake here. So basically the p tag will not start with a slash. It will actually start without a slash, and the closing tag will have forward slash. Okay, so this is the way you should write the code. These small mistakes will always cause problem with your HTML document, so you have to be very careful. Next is italic text. So basically italic texts are some text which appear different than the rest of the text, and it will be slightly tilted to the right. It will be different from the rest of the text, and we are going to see some example of italic text. So italic text, you will use two different kind of text, two different types of tags. One is I tag and another one is forward slash I tag, the closing tag for I, and whatever appear, any word or phrase appear in between these two will be italic in nature. And another tag is called EM tag, the emphasis tag. You want to emphasize some text, then again you put EM tag, an opening tag, and then a closing tag, and whatever appear in between these two tags will be the content that will appear emphasized. So basically emphasis and italic are the same thing. The appearance will be same. Okay, so you can use whichever you like. And the next one is a block quote. A block quote is a text or a phrase that is shown differently on the screen. It's like a small slogan or some quotes which you want to show on your website, and these kind of text are very different from the rest of the text, and so it will appear slightly bolder than the rest of the text. That's the nature of a block quote. So HTML5 allow you to use block code tag and where whatever appear in between this block to block code tag will be displayed in that manner. It will be a block code text, and just because I'm showing you all these tags doesn't mean that you will understand everything right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you by producing an example, creating a page with all these elements so that you will understand it better. So I have opened my notepad, and as I said, you can use any text editor to write your HTML codes. I have a template here, and if you want to know the HTML document structure, please you have to watch my first video, the HTML introduction video, which has all the information in it, like what these tags means and how HTML page is structured. So basically the body section is a section where all my content will go. I mean it has a heading right now, so I have to use some text. I have to add some paragraphs, so I will add paragraph tag, p tag, and write some text. So I don't want to write too many things. What I want to do is I'll just go ahead and repeat the same thing and just copy paste and repeat the same thing. So if it is too long, you can just start from a new line. Okay. So you can see that that's my first paragraph, and I have an opening and a closing tag. So all I have to do is copy and paste to create my second paragraph. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and copy and paste, and now I have two paragraphs right now. This is my second paragraph, and what I want to do is I want to bold some text. I want to make sure that some text appear bold, so I'll use two tags. First is b tag, which is right here, and make sure that the word appear bolder. So I use b tag, and the word will appear bolder. Now I'll use another the second way to bold my text, that is using the strong. So I will use strong, but I will not use strong inside the paragraph, but rather I will go ahead and create a heading, and I'll make sure that the heading is bold. Okay, so I just go ahead and type strong tag. So I have to create a opening and a closing tag, and whatever will appear in between these two tags will be bolder, just like the bold tag. But there's a difference. The strong is is usually used for headings, so smaller headings. So I don't recommend using strong inside the paragraph, but there's no hard and fast rule that you could not use it inside a paragraph. Okay, but it's better to use it outside the paragraph for small headings. So this is my second paragraph strong headings. So I can just copy and paste and even put a heading for the first paragraph also. So I'm using that same tag. So now I have two headings, one for first paragraph and one for the second paragraph. Now let me go ahead and emphasize some text that I want to appear differently. So I'll put a italic tag, Remember, the italic tag and the emphasis tag are the same thing. Okay, so and you will see the difference. So I'll type country name and then close the italic tag. So whatever appear in between these two tags, the italic tag will appear in italic. Now let me emphasize some other text. So I'm going to use em tag. So this is my em tag. Remember, these tag do the same thing. The italic tag and the emphasis tag do the same thing. There is no difference. Okay, so one is used in older browsers, and one is was used from HTML4, and now it has been included. EM is included in the HTML5. Okay, so now my page is complete, and all I have to do is to save it as a .html file. You can see that it's called html-text-paragraph.html. So this file is saved as an HTML document, or I can run it on my browser. And you can see that there is my heading, and then I have bold text, first paragraph, that is by strong. That strong tag make sure that the headings appear a little bolder than the rest of the document. Then the word second, which I bolded, we use B tag for that, and it's appearing bolder. Then my first paragraph is my first paragraph is something that we emphasized by using em tag, so it appears different from the other text. And similarly, if you see that the word India, the country name, is appearing slightly tilted, it is italic, and the emphasis tag and the result of italic tag are almost similar. There is no difference. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a block quote in my document. Okay, so you can write anything you want, just for the sake of example. So I have written some text that will appear as a block quote. Okay, so you can write anything else. If you want to write something like a long text or some quotes from some famous person, you can write down the in between the block quote tags, and that will become block quote element. Then once you save your document, HTML document, you can go ahead and relaunch your website. Or if you have it open, then you can just simply refresh it. Now you can see that the block quote appears slightly different, right? It is appearing, it is indented, right? There is a margin for this block quote element. Now some people will use CSS code, CSS, for styling block quote nicely. They can put some background and background color, and they will make sure that appears different from the rest of the text. Okay, but automatically you can see how block quote element, the text appear different. Now the starting point is not the first line. I mean, it's not starting from the same position as the paragraph, but it is slightly indented. It's coming inside, and then it starts, leaving some margin before the text. So this is the nature of block quote. And Sometimes you can use B tag also, Q tag also, for instead of block quote you can use Q tag. So I'm not sure if this will work in HTML5, but let me try that. Okay, so I'm going to save it and then refresh the page again. So you can see that the Q tag actually puts a slightly the two commas in between the, it put two quotes, double quotes in front of the text, and one is right after the text. So the Q tag is I think it's a previous version of block quote in HTML. Okay, so you can use either one. I mean, whichever suits you, you can use that, and in this way you can use HTML text tags, different kind of text elements to display your content. Okay, so I'll see you in next video. Thank you very much.